Now check, please. Is it clearly audible now? Okay. You must have told me previously only. Should I repeat the explanation? Okay. Let us go for the explanation once again. So here, there is one implementation regarding a log-based recovery. Log-based recovery. Here we are using a log file for the recovery purpose. Okay. So there are two log techniques are there through which we can use a recovery. Recovery, it means that a failure has occurred to my machine because of any reason, and after the failure, how I can recover my data. So in the recovery algorithm, there are two steps are there. Two steps. First step is that whenever our normal execution is going on, during that period, we take corrective actions that even though if my system get fails, I should have enough data. So keeping this data, it means that we are preserving a log file. Okay. So this log file this is a file. Okay, which keeps a record or which keeps a track that which transaction has modified which data items. Okay, this log contains all the modifications done to my database, which transactions were executing, which data items were modified, what is a new value, etc. So there are two techniques are there. First one is immediate. This is one type, and second one is deferred database modification. So immediate, it means that whenever we are executing always, it means in the log, only there are three statements, three log entries are there. That is first regarding start of the transaction, and next one regarding the transaction termination. This can be transaction commit, or this can be transaction abort also. And other than these two statements, there is only single statement in the transaction which makes changes to the log file. That is a write statement. Okay. So this write statement is always having effect on a log file. So in between, if I read a equal to a plus 50, a equal to a multiplied by b, it doesn't make changes because these statements are not going to change the database. Only write operation, this is having an effect on log records. And that's why here, whatever this write a statement is there, where it means every write statement into my transaction, this will have an equivalent log entry. So in case of immediate database modifications, whenever a write statement is there, okay, so consider that this is my write a statements. So this will result into a log record that transaction T1 has performed changes to the A with old value as 1000 and new value as 2000. Okay, this log entry is added equivalent to this statement. Immediate database modification, it means that immediately whenever this write A is there, buffer copy will be updated. Okay, copy is updated immediately. That's why this log base recovery is called as a immediate database modification. And here, if consider transaction commit, well and good, that we will have a new value in the file. And if consider because of any reason transaction couldn't commit, okay, transaction couldn't reach to the commit statement or it is aborted in between, then the log entry contains the old value. Okay, so this old value will be returned to the buffer. Okay, so this is how this immediate database works. Clear with the immediate? And here the next one is regarding deferred. Deferred itself is a meaning of delayed. Okay, Delayed, it means that unless and until there is a commit, that is a transaction is committed, then only buffer copy is updated. If in between I'm reaching to the right, let it there be 5 writes or 10 writes, it doesn't make any changes to the buffer. When the transaction reaches to the commit, that log is having a T1 commit, then only buffer copy will be updated. And this will keep a track that yes, transaction T1 has performed changes to the A and 2000 is the new value. This might happen that after transaction commit, before updating the buffer, it means system failure is there. Then we are having a log record that yes, transaction T1 is going to perform changes to the buffer. Okay, so at the after third step, if we are having the system crash here, then we are having sufficient information into a log file to update the buffer. Here undo is at all not required. Okay, and for this purpose, as deferred is having somewhat easy implementation as compared to the immediate, I have taken for the implementation deferred database modification. So during this explanation also, my voice is clear to you all. During this explanation, okay. Clear with this explanation? Difference between immediate and deferred database, so that we can move towards the implementation. So, okay, let us move towards the implementation. So, in the implementation, we are going to have 3 files. Okay, 3 files. First, in our Java program, which will start with the transaction that it will read the existing records. Then it will perform changes that from A's account 50 we are transferring to the B's account. Okay, and then if transaction is having 6 to 7 steps, that reading the A, then reducing the 50, writing the A, then reading the B, etc. It means total 7 steps are there. And out of that 7 step, if we are having the failure at any point of time, then we are maintaining a log file. Okay, log file. This is keeping a track that how we have performed changes to the database. And that's why our this will be our third file into a implementation. Okay, so let us start with the implementation now. okay whether my screen is visible to you? Wait, let me share with the complete entire screen. So, okay, as the time constraint, already I have implemented this program. So let us see what this program says. So here, this is the start of deferred database modification. So we are using file input for the file. It means there are multiple files we are accessing during the program. That's why IO and util are there. Util in order to take the input up to which step we are performing a transaction execution. Okay. So now next, here I'm using static buffer reader in order to read the contents, and random access file. So random access file, this class is used in order to pass any location and get that data. It means, consider right now my first line is there. From the first line I wanted to access any location like 10th location or 11th location. For this purpose, this random access file is there. So now I have started with the main. So let me show you the database file. So okay, this is my database file. There are two variables are there, A and B. So I will make this as a 500. Okay. So B is having the value 750 and sorry, A is having the value 750 and B is having the value 500. Okay, let us save this file. So this elements we are accessing by using location. Location, it means that A will be having index 0. This in between space will be having index 1 and this will be at the index 2. Okay. Similarly, for the next line, B will be at index 0 space and then the 500 value. In this way, we are accessing this. And next, so this is my log entry. So previously, it means let us consider that right now I don't have any log entry. Okay, as we are starting from the scratch, so we will keep the log file empty only. So let us see what we how we can execute this program. So let us go through the program first. So here first I have opened my database file in read write mode. I have also opened my random, that is log record. So here log, it means that this is a file which is there were during the previous execution also. So here we cannot assume that my system newly started. So here it means that log was the part of previous transaction also. Right now there is no log entry, but still we need to open the log file, because here it might happen that right now I have executed out of 7 the 6 steps, and next time whenever I'm starting, log file will automatically show me that yes, because of the 6 steps my transaction has committed, and now we are moving towards the 7th step, that is the buffer changes might be remaining. So for this purpose, log will be always open at the start, and buffer reader for reading the file contents I have opened. So here at the start, whatever the database contents are there, I have displayed. So display is a method which is used in order to read the file and display the length. So here this is checking whether the log file is having some contents. So this step is required in order to check whether there are any partial transactions were there. Okay, log always refers to a previous transaction status also. So for this purpose, this might happen that previously I have started any transaction but couldn't commit that transaction. Okay. So for this purpose, we are also reading a log file here and just checking whether log is having length more than 1. If so, okay, if so, then we will use a string tokenizer. String tokenizer, has anybody used this class? String tokenizer. So string tokenizer, this will divide the string based on this token. It means that in the log, we are always writing a log record in angular brackets. Okay, so this string tokenizer will make whatever the contents of this, just like I'm having T1, A, and 2000. Okay, this was my log entry. So this will help me to only read this much contents. String tokenizer, these two, this opening bracket, opening angular bracket, and closing angular brackets, these are acting as a tokens on which basis my string will be divided or written me as a token. So from this I will use which variable is there and what is the value, and I will check whether next any more tokens are there. If this is having a start and there is no any commit, okay, if this is having a start initially, I will, it means at the start, so this is reading from the start, so read line, this will read at the start, so T0 start will be there, so this will check whether it is having any more tokens. So this will check whether start is there, then true, set the true, and check whether for this same transaction whether commit is also there. If commit, it means that we need to perform changes to the buffer. Okay, in case of commit only, okay, then only we need to perform changes to the changes to the buffer. That's why committed will be set to true. Else at the start this has been made false. Okay, so this start is also there. This has initially set to the false, and commit is also there, set to false. If we are having start also equal to true and commit also equal to true, then we need to perform changes to the actual file. So this will check with the start and committed true true. This will go for transaction committed, changing the database. So this will perform changes to the database file. So okay, this string tokenizer will perform changes to the database file. So this will seek. Seek is the method which is used to go to that particular location. So this will write the new value of A at the ninth location. It means to the next line. This will write the value of B, and now we will give a statement that yes, we can, that we have updated the record. Again, if it means this condition is not true, either start is there or commit is there, but not both. In that case, we need not to perform any changes. So this will check if log length is more than one and transaction not committed, then we will delete the existing file, log file, and we will create a new log file, that is a from the scratch. Previous transaction has no effect on a database. So we will write our new log file, and hence we will go for executing the current transaction. So current transaction is reading the A's value, reducing it by 50, and it is reading the B's value and performing addition of 50, and it is asking me whether to commit or not. So there are total 7 steps are there. So 7 steps everywhere. If I said y, it means a transaction is committed. If other than these two, if I'm having the failure at any point, I will say no, and from there it will keep a log record. So let us see first a successful case, that is we are executing the transaction properly, and then we will go for executing a non-successful execution. So this was the output of actually previous execution. So I will remove this. So let us see. So I'll first compile my file javac dev. What is the problem regarding this? T0 start. I have added some statement because of that. Yes, this statement was added for me. Now there is no problem. Now let us go for the execution. Right now, let us see the database contents. Database contents are this file save. I will close this file, and let us see what are the contents of the log file also. So log file also is also blank. So initial only, it means you can set your values for the A and B and then make your log file. So initially these are my records. So let us go for a successful execution. So first step I wanted to execute. First step is regarding reading a value of A. Then second step is also regarding performing A equal to A minus 50. Third step is regarding writing A's value to the file. Then fourth step is regarding reading the value of B. Fifth step, B equal to B plus 50. Sixth step, writing the B's value. And seventh step is regarding the commit. Okay, so commit also I wanted to perform. So before this, let us see. Okay, I will skip this. So thanks for using the service. At last, database records are. So we can see 50 is reduced from A's value, and from B, within the B, 50 has been added. So here we have executed a complete transaction. So let us see whether database, that is a log file, is also empty. So let us see whether the changes are reflected into database file. Yes, changes are reflected into database file as our transaction is committed. Okay, because of commission of the transaction, this file got removed. Now let us go for the unsuccessful any of the execution. Okay, so this will give me the initial status. Now to see the log records, we will execute up to step number 6 and 7th regarding commit, that is changes to the buffer, that we will skip. Up to 6 commit is also there, so we will execute successfully up to step number 6 and 7th one we will skip. And at this point I will say failure. Okay, that is no, I will say. So here at the last, database doesn't get modified. This means that our log, it means log changes are not yet reflected to the buffer. Now let us see what are the contents of a log file. So here log file is having T0 start, that T0 has been started. A previously was having a 750 value, sorry 700 value. So at the start also this was having a 700 value, but because of the 7th step these changes are not reflected to the file, that is the actual database. So this log file will hold the data that A's value should be 650, B's value should be 600, as previously there was a 550 value plus 50, 600 will be there. And next one, commit is also there. It means transaction got successfully committed. Now let us see how our system, it means after recovery, how it works. Okay, so up to this point the failure was there. Now whenever I'm executing the new program, this means that I'm recovering from the failure and my system is going to reboot the log file. So this will say that at the starting database records say 700 and 550, transaction is committed, changing the database, and now the database records are 650 and 600. Okay, so after 600 this file will be get removed, and that's why this will show me that file not found exception. So actually this is my problem, that somewhere I have deleted any of the statement during the execution. So I'll check what is the problem with this. So this is how the database is getting modified. So I will close this. Now here we cannot continue with the transaction, but let us see how this will go. Now here, for the transaction to be successful, we always need that up to 6th step we should go. Now let us check if we go up to the step number 5. How it means what will be the log records. 5 will also go. 6 we will say no. Okay, now let us see. At the last, database records are shown. Now recovery system. Before starting the recovery, let us see what are the log records. Here I am having only T0 start and T0A and 600. Okay, it means that this transaction is incomplete. Transaction is not yet committed. So recovery started. So transaction is not committed and that's why it will not perform any changes to the transaction. So I'll start with the Y. Yes, at this point, again the 50 from A's account will be transferred to the B's account. Done. So let me know if you are having any of the questions on this topic. Let me see the chat window. No questions? So okay, if you don't have any questions, then we can move to the next part. May I? Okay, so here it means in the next part, actually, I wanted to move to the immediate database modifications. So, immediate database modifications actually shared a wrong window. So here, in case of immediate, we are having a log entry like this. Okay. So log entry like this, it means that this buffer copy is always updated. So changes may be done to the disk file. It means a disk database or not. It doesn't matter. It means order can be different also. But buffer copy is always updated whenever there is a write statement is there. Okay. So if consider a transaction is committed, that if we are having equivalent T0 start and for this we are having T0 commit, then only no changes are required. It means buffer copy is always updated. It means here no action is required in case of this problem. But if we are having T0 start, okay, T0 start is there, but no equivalent commit, then in that case, we need to undo the changes done onto the buffer. Undo the changes done on buffer copy. Okay, so this is a immediate database modification. Immediate, even though transaction is not committed, still the changes are reflected to the buffer copy. So let me check whether I can execute this program. Okay, I'll share my entire screen now. So here, immediate database modification. So as I covered in the explanation, in the immediate database modification, immediately whenever there is a write statement is there, the changes will be reflected to the file. Okay, so as we explained regarding this, if consider commit is there, then we don't need not to perform any action. But if we are having T0 start, but no equivalent neither T0 commit or neither T0 abort, then we need to undo the changes done on a buffer copy. So let us see. First, we will go for the successful execution, and then we will go for a log file whenever there is a recovery is required. So my file name is Java. I am yum. So this doesn't have any problem. So Java, let us see. So initially we are having at starting database records 900 and b equal to 100. Transaction is not committed. It means previous log records, and now database records are there. So here, as I explained, that if considered transaction is committed, then no action is required. It means in between only whenever there is a write A and write B is there, changes are done to the file. Hence, this complete execution will take only 6 steps instead of 7 as compared to the deferred database modification. Let us go for first successful execution. So this has come, it means actually implemented the 50 deduction from A's account and adding to the B's account. Now let us go for some unsuccessful execution. So I will start with this. So I will reach up to the step number 5 and 6.1. I will get it filled. Now we can see the database records properly. So I will start Y. At the last, I will say no. Okay. So this will keep my database records. So let us see what are the log records now. So here log record says that A's value was previously 850 and new value is 800. So this log file, this is a log file contents, and let us see what are the database contents. So this is having the updated value, okay, 800 and 150. So let us see what are the contents. So here we can see that previously A was having the value as 850. It means from the A's account 50 has been deducted, but B doesn't have an updated value. That B is not updated. And this says that atomicity property of a transaction is not implemented here. Okay, and that's why we need to undo this transaction. So let us start with the recovery. So recovery will check that at the starting database records are there and transaction is not committed, and hence whatever the changes we have done that we need to undo the changes. And after the recovery we can see the original correct contents of a database, that A is equal to A 850 and B is equal to 150. Now I can see that database is in the consistent state. So clear with this? Actually, I'm sharing the complete screen. I cannot see the chat window. So let me know. If you are having the problem, you can unmute yourself and explain me the problem or ask me the question. So okay, now I should I assume that you don't have any problem regarding the implementation? Okay, I can provide you the programs, no problem. But you have to execute those programs, create database.dat and log.dat by your own, and then complete its execution. Along with the output, don't expect that I will give you the complete db.dat immediate and deferred complete program along with the execution output. No. Here, this I can say that this up to this much I can provide you. So now here the question comes, what you should do for your implementations. Okay, for the implementation, me and Sheikhdar ma'am both have made the conclusion that we will give you a few of the statements, and those statements, it means total up to now consider by including JDBC, you might have executed first DDL, next DML, next nested queries, and then immediate and deferred database and JDBC. Almost 6 to 7 implementations we have seen. So now for this purpose, I will provide you the ready-made program for this, that is the immediate and deferred database modifications. But regarding the